Saturday Live. First thing I'm going to say to you guys is, hey, I just put out a video. We just put out a video about kind of the inside scoop on cruise influencers, if you will. I don't know.
Yeah.
Watch it because then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But one of the topics in there is that cruise influencers, they do get paid sometimes if they have enough, I guess, following or success. They do start to get paid, and because it's a lot of work to be a cruise influencer. And I'm going to keep this short. Don't turn it off just because I'm talking about this. But really quick, if you've ever thought to yourself, "Hey, I might want to be a cruise influencer," or "I might want to do ship tours when I'm on a cruise," I might want to get that cool footage that I always see. So I'm going to recommend this product right here. I've got it in this little kit right here that it comes with, and it's a GoPro. Do you guys already have a GoPro? Even if you're not a cruise influencer, it's a really cool camera. It is 4K. You can actually, on like the newest one, you can I think get up to 5K, 6K,
Yeah.
something
It's
like. I don't even know what
insanely good
5K or
footage.
6K is. It's that's too many Ks. My TV wouldn't even, or computer screen wouldn't even handle it. But anyway, it takes really good pictures and videos, and it's a handy tool to have when you're taking those cruises. So we have this product tagged on our video. If you were to purchase it from our tag there, we will get a small commission from that, and we'd greatly appreciate it. So if you're in the market to be a cruise influencer and you need a camera, or you just need a new GoPro, hit that tag and help us out. All right, moving on. After I put away my GoPro.
So what is our topic of the live today, Joe?
The topic of the live today is something about cruise extras. You can say it better than me. What is it?
Whether or not cruise extras are worth it. Is it worth the splurge to go and get that specialty dining, to get the Wi-Fi package, which is insanely expensive? We all know that. Is it worth it to go get a spa treatment? All those extra things that you can get on a cruise, because unfortunately cruises aren't actually all-inclusive. Is it worth it? And I think that really depends, right, on
Depends on the person.
what it is, and on the person, what's important to you.
Yeah, but we can tell you guys
we're-
what we think, and
Yeah.
we want to know what you guys think about
Yeah.
these different cruise ship extras.
So if
And
there's
I
something
lost
that
my
you've
spot.
gotten on your cruise that is something you pay for all the time extra that you absolutely think is worth it, or maybe there was something that you got on your cruise, just you thought, oh, I'm just going to give this a try, and it was like such a waste of money and you were so disappointed. Let us know in the comments. Yeah, we'd love to know what you guys think.
Cool. Well, can I start with the first one?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to go with a super easy one here. And this is the one that probably almost everybody, I guess I don't know for sure, but I think almost everybody gets specialty dining, at least once in a while when they go on a cruise.
Maybe once in a while.
Splurge
Yeah.
on the food.
Yeah.
It seems kind of, when I first started cruising many years ago, got on a cruise ship and I was like, I thought it was like all inclusive. I didn't know if you want to go to the restaurant, you have to pay $50, and it seems like that's kind of a tall
Yeah.
fee. But we've done it. I mean, we've gotten specialty dining a
We
few
have,
times.
although we haven't done the $50. Oh yeah, we did actually, didn't we? On our first,
On
we went to the
Royal
Royal
Caribbean,
Yeah,
we
did the steakhouse.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing is, it says it's $50, but it's not, because are you going to go by yourself? I know some people are, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. If you're a solo cruiser and you just want to go there by yourself and enjoy a nice meal, then sure, it's $50. But probably it's going to be two people at least, maybe a whole family, but two people. So all of a sudden now you're at $100. Then they tack on that 18% gratuity, and then there's a whole controversy as should you tip beyond the 18% gratuity. So before you know it. And maybe you want a glass of wine. It's a nice meal. You want a glass of wine with it, or some alcoholic beverage, some specialty beverage. It suddenly becomes a pretty expensive meal.
Yeah.
So
It does. It does. I will say, like, the cruise lines are great at getting money from us, I guess, because
Yep.
when you're on a cruise vacation, you're like, I want to do that special thing. So even though you can go to main dining and get a really VIP treatment, you still want to go to the steakhouse or the seafood restaurant, or like on MSC, it was one of the options. One of the less expensive options was Hola Tacos, which was okay. It was okay.
it was okay. Yeah.
There was,
I believe I had a pretty epic rant about how it wasn't
Yeah,
okay. So,
we. If you want to see Emily have an epic rant, the MSC is.
I
At
was
the
pretty annoyed
dining.
actually. The Ola specialty dining, the dining packages one is I think the
Yeah.
way you put that in. But
Uh,
let's see. So Beverly says, I look for perks that are included on a cruise, especially if the cruise line is having a sale or something. And that's absolutely true because a lot of these cruise lines now you can pre-buy things and then they'll put things on sale that you can purchase ahead of time. So
That's
yeah.
true. Getting a good deal is always the thing to do, right? But we like, for instance, we were just talking about on Royal Caribbean. We went to specialty dining, and we actually went to several specialty dinings. I was going to tell that story really briefly. So we went on a two back-to-back Royal Caribbean cruises. One was with my mom and sister, and then Emily and I went on one by ourselves right afterwards. The first one was like a 4 or 5 night,
Four nights. I
4 night
think.
cruise,
Yeah.
and then the second was a 14 night on the
Yeah.
Grandeur. I just found out the Grandeur of the Seas is the oldest Royal Caribbean
Oh
ship.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
The Grandeur of the Seas is my
You
least
did not like that ship.
my least favorite cruise ship. Hot
We
take.
also got the worst cabin of any
It
of
was
our
a terrible.
cruises
It
that
was a
we've gotten,
terrible cabin.
so,
My
yeah.
gosh, that was
that
a
makes a
small
big
cabin.
difference.
Anyway, so when we were on the first cruise, which I think was the Freedom of the Seas,
I think I always get that. It's either the Freedom or the Liberty.
Or
'cause
Liberty,
I think we
yeah.
were looking at them both.
it was a cool ship.
Anyways,
But anyway, we went to specialty dining on that ship with my family. It was really fun.
Yeah.
We splurged. We did it.
Yeah.
My mom kept dropping her fork or her knife to something.
and the waiter was so funny about it, and it was just a great
Th-
experience.
their forks or their knives. I can't remember.
the forks.
But like one half of it was like it was
really heavy. I
really
think.
heavy.
It was just
was
weighted
like
weird.
It was weighted really. It was like really thick on one side and not on the other. And my mom kept setting it on the edge of the table, and literally
just-
like 4 or 5 times it would fall on the floor, and so we had to keep calling the waiter over. My mom was hysterically laughing, which is fantastic. Anyway, so yeah, we splurged on the specialty dining there and enjoyed it. And then when Emily and I got on the Grandeur of the Seas, like back to back right afterwards,
Yeah.
we walk in and like one of the
Literally right there.
one of the first people we
2
see,
minutes on the ship.
one of the first Royal Caribbean people we see is a salesperson telling us that they have this amazing like 60% off, 50%
Yeah.
off deal on specialty dining package
Yep.
where we can get 3 specialty dinings for half price or whatever. And so we had just had specialty dining and really enjoyed it on
Yeah.
the previous ship, and so we
Also didn't
hemmed
really
and
like
hawed.
the main dining when we went to it. We
No,
were disappointed by
Royal
that,
Caribbean's
so.
my least favorite main dining for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, so we went for it. We
did.
we were sold by the cruise ship salesman.
Yeah,
I
he got
it,
us.
It was more me than I was thinking with my stomach. I was probably really hungry at that point. It was more me that bought into it. But anyway, I will say we enjoyed the specialty dining, and we got we went to the Italian restaurant. I can't remember the name of it actually.
Oh man.
That's okay.
I don't remember either.
The steakhouse and then
Chops Steakhouse, I believe.
Chops,
Right?
yeah.
Or no.
Is it Chops?
I think it's
been,
it's
been
Chops.
so long.
Yeah.
I think it is. Anyway, it was good, but seriously, 3 was too many. We
Yeah.
didn't. We like had to like really try to get that third one
Yeah.
scheduled because you had to schedule them, and it was a 14-day cruise. So I don't know. I don't think you need specialty
Yeah.
dining a lot, but maybe like on a 7-day cruise, one night is maybe what I think for
Yeah.
specialty dining splurge.
But it also became a thing where it's like, oh, we paid for these, now we have to get them. And I mean, Joe and I are much more like just laid back. We don't like making reservations. We would rather, for the most part, I think we'd rather just be like, today I feel like doing whatever, and not having to think in 3 days I'm going to want to have
Yeah.
steak. It's like, no, when I want to have steak, that's when I want it.
I don't know. On a cruise,
So-
it's like, especially port days, you don't know exactly what your schedule is going to be,
Yeah.
how things are, when you're going to be at certain places, and so scheduling out that far is, I don't know,
Yeah.
inhibiting.
Yeah.
So anyway, I vote yeah. There's some really nice and good restaurants on cruise ships. They're expensive, but maybe you don't need to do it every night. But yeah, I'm all about
For sure, try
getting
it.
a specialty
Yeah.
dining here and there.
The specialty dining today is what the main dining room used to be. My first
Yeah.
cruise was in 1996, and I remember the main dining was exclusive. It's not like that anymore, and that is so very true.
That's
Yeah.
true. I mean, we weren't cruising back then, but we've heard that from other people that.
Yeah.
And it's like the cruise lines seriously just keep finding ways to make more profit.
Yeah.
It's what businesses do.
I
I guess.
honestly think that on the Royal Caribbean cruise, when we went to main dining, I was expecting a different experience. And then we went to specialty dining. It was like, oh, this is what I was expecting main dining is going to be like. And so it was almost like I was disappointed and then felt like I had to pay more to get what I was expecting to get.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Now we know, and you just adjust your expectations.
Absolutely. And main dining on other cruise lines, Carnival
different,
and Princess, MSC,
MSC,
were kind of better than Royal Caribbean in my opinion. So but anyway, let's move on to the next one. What do you got?
Okay, I get to choose the next one. How about we'll continue with the food theme and we'll talk about room service, because room service is not always free anymore. That is one of the ways that cruise lines has found to nickel and dime us and get us to pay a little bit more extra. So what do you think? Is room service worth it?
At times, I think room service is definitely worth it. But what we have found, I think, with room service is that it is, you need to basically plan on there being an hour between you when you order the food and when you get the food.
Hey,
Cruising Chris. Hey,
Cruising Chris.
Good afternoon. So, when I want room service, it's usually because I'm really hungry in the moment.
Yeah.
And then we end up discussing it. Should we get room service? And then we're both like, that's going to take an hour. And then we end up just going to the buffet or something.
Generally, I'm like, I will be room service. Tell me what you want, and I'll go up and get it.
But like breakfast, when they come to your door in the morning and bring you breakfast, I think that's kind of nice sometimes.
And the nice thing is that one is actually free on a lot of cruise lines. In fact, trying to think who doesn't do breakfast for free. Maybe MSC has a charge now if you're not like if you get the most basic room. I can't remember, but most of the cruise lines still have breakfast for free at least for room service, which is nice.
Yeah. I like room service, and I will in room service like on Carnival. I think what is it, $5?
Yeah.
Or no, is it a la carte? I can't even.
Oh, on Carnival it's a la carte. Yeah, because they tell you what.
That's right. You just go on the menu and order, and it's going to cost this much and this much. Yeah.
I think with Princess it's the food is most of the food is free, but there's a $5 charge per order.
That's right.
Royal Caribbean, I don't remember. I feel like it's maybe a little bit of both. I think on Disney it was everything was free in there except for drinks.
It should be, because Disney is so frickin' expensive. Anyway, room service I think is a good thing in certain moments if you're willing to wait for the food.
Yeah.
So, and just one more quick anecdote. Maybe this has happened to you guys. We on a Disney cruise we were on with my family. We had ordered room service because we were all starving, and it took so long. I think it took over an hour. We ended up actually leaving our room and going to, because main dining.
We ended up going because I think we had scheduled dining time, and it was like, it's so long until our and it was seriously like 2 hours before dinner, and room service. Joe called room service, and it was going to take an hour, and you were like, fine. And then they didn't come before we had to leave.
No, we had to leave for main dining, so we just had to starve for an hour. Anyway, not that exciting of a story, but
then we came back to like
a lot
five people's worth of
plates
food in our room that we didn't want to eat anymore. But Beverly confirms that continental breakfast is free on Royal. Thank you for that confirmation. And Cruising Chris says, I believe you're correct about MSC for basic fare. And RC Royal Caribbean continental breakfast is free and included. MSC it's basic fare, it's a cost, and then it's like the Bella level is when it starts to get it to be free. So, yeah. All right, what's another splurge that?
All right, let me look here.
Like to do?
Let's talk about port transportation. That's not a super interesting one, but we can talk about it briefly. Just because it made me think. So, port transportation. When you guys get off the ship and you walk out to the port, sometimes what you want to see is within walking distance, and that's great. But in other cases, it's not. So, I'm going to use Nassau. I bet everybody watching this has been to Nassau 5 times, because we've all been to Nassau like 5 times, right? So, Nassau the first time, what we did is go walk around the town, and we hated it. I don't know if hate's the right word, but we didn't like it.
It wasn't something that I really cared to repeat.
It was really heavy on the sales. It was kind of dirty, and it was like the people weren't. I don't know. We didn't walk away from Nassau thinking, "Wow, we love this place."
No.
But we did I don't know. It took 2 more times, I think. We stayed on the ship once. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We ended up going into Nassau again, and we were like, you know what? Let's just get away from the city, like right away from the port. So we had heard about this place called Cabbage Beach, which is kind of an unfortunate name because why? I don't know. I like Cabbage a little, but it's, yeah, I don't know why they call it Cabbage Beach. But do you guys know why they call it Cabbage Beach? But anyway, the transportation there, if you go if you go kind of prime time when you can get on a bus with like 5 other people, it's $5, right? $5 each way.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a great deal. But
yeah.
we happened to be a little bit late.
Got a later start.
A little late to the game, and we got out there, and we came out, and they were like, "It's going to be $20."
Yeah.
And so
each way,
and so we were like, "Shoot," So we actually stood around for like a half hour, hoping other people would come around, and finally we haggled a little bit, and we got it for like $12, I think.
Yeah.
Because it costs a lot of cabbage to get there.
that's a good explanation.
Grade 8's always got the jokes. I love it. So yeah, it does cost a lot of cabbage to get there unless you get in with a group of people that's going on one of the buses. Yeah. So pro tip, get in the group. You guys might already know this, but
we didn't realize that a lot of ports actually do that, especially in the Caribbean. I think a lot of ports do that where they'll have a taxi stand, like right front and center when you get out of the port or off the ship, and they'll have a sign that tells you like straight up it's going to cost this much. So there's no haggling, which is kind of nice. It's going to be this much, but it's not clear. At least it wasn't clear to me the first time. Those prices are per person each way, and only if you find a group. So you go up to the ticket window for the taxi stand, and he'll be like, "Where are you going?" And you're like, I don't know, I want to go to a beach. He's like, "Well, pick a beach." And I mean, they're always so abrupt about it.
They are.
And anyways, he finally is like, "Okay, stand over there." And he doesn't really give you any more directions. It's just like, "Stand over there." And you're like, okay. And then eventually more people stand there, and once they, have at least, usually they want like 6 people. I think they'll do the group rate for 4 people, but they usually wait till 6, and the vans fit like 10 at the max or something like that. So, and then they'll take off and take you where you want to go. But yeah, if you are too late in the day and there's not going to be a group, then you're stuck having to pay for the private car. So
yeah, and so the other example I'll give, because it's just coming to mind, is to get to our favorite spot in St. Thomas, which is Hidden Beach or Secret Beach. I can never remember.
It's Hidden Beach.
Hidden Beach.
Yeah.
It's like, is it $20 each way?
I don't remember, actually.
It was kind of a lot,
I think it was $20 per person each way, because I feel like the total ended up being $80 for the beach day.
So I guess kind of the question of this is this worth it? Like the transportation charges at ports? I'm going to go ahead and say yes, because like in Nassau, for instance, you don't have to deal with the initial city area, which, like I say, after you do it once, you probably don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
Cabbage Beach, I should have mentioned, is awesome. Cabbage Beach is awesome.
It was worth the cabbage.
It was worth the cabbage. It was so beautiful, and it wasn't crowded. There was people out there, but you had plenty of space. The water was clear and clean and beautiful, and like Junkanoo Beach, which is right by the port, is packed and it's not very clean. Yeah, so worth it.
Yeah. So Beverly said, "I try to avoid places that haggle you too much, so we tend to stay on the ship, but that is our preference." And I think that's a great point, because having to haggle all the time, it's just exhausting. And I think that is why a lot of these ports have gone to this, like, what seems to be very straightforward taxi stand with the prices clearly advertised. But as we found out, that doesn't mean that you're not going to haggle. It just means if you know how the system works, you know how much to expect, but there's still haggling involved. Yeah. So, and I don't know if we've been anywhere that we don't have to worry about haggling to some extent.
No, there is haggling pretty much everywhere you go, except I guess for
I mean, maybe
like
in Alaska it wasn't
the
as much.
Dominican Republic stops, Amber Cove,
Yeah.
and because if you buy something, there might be haggling, although their prices are pretty set.
Yeah,
But you can just go get off the ship and have the resort
yeah,
kind of situation there
Yeah.
without too much haggling. Yeah, I guess it's just your preference, but I get that. I mean, haggling is an art. I mean, it's something you need to get used to,
Yeah.
and
And
as you travel,
it's something that some cultures are really, that's like part of the culture, and I don't think it is. I would say it's not part of the culture in America, but when you go to like the bazaars in the Middle East, it's like almost a badge of pride. If you don't haggle, you're insulting somebody. And so it's just a different culture, and since it's something we're not used to, I don't know, I don't really care for it. It does get really stressful to me, but
it does
Yeah.
end up being a part of the memory of the experience, though.
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess moving on. What's the next?
Okay, so how about the Wi-Fi package? I really want to talk about the Wi-Fi package.
Okay, go ahead and
So,
start it off.
All right, well, so the Wi-Fi package is super expensive. We actually have a video that we kind of go through all the different ways you can try to avoid buying a Wi-Fi package, but the truth is, if you want to have internet throughout the cruise, your best bet is honestly, if you want to have access to internet 24/7 for your entire cruise, your best bet is just to cough up the money, because some of the phone lines or phone companies now have some different offers, but they have different offers, but they're not going to be as good as the cruise line, and they're not going to be like, if you're getting it the whole time, it's not really going to be saving you that much money anyways. So we just kind of bit the bullet and got the Wi-Fi package for our upcoming cruise, which is a
We did.
3-week long cruise. And we are going to split one Wi-Fi package, and it was like $500, I believe.
Not cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
not cheap.
you do get a discount when you buy the full cruise long package, and you get a discount when you purchase it before you get on board. So that's why we decided to go ahead and do it. This one happens to be a Trans-Pacific cruise, so we have very few stops. It's like a repositioning cruise, so there's very few stops in between. A lot of times we try to get by with just getting Wi-Fi at the ports, but in this case we're going like 6 days, and then we have a port stop. So we decided that with everything that we really feel like we'd like to be able to do, it made sense. But when you look at that, and I mean, we think about our cable bill at home, and that is 10 times what we pay at home for our cable bills, so it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. It is. It's crazy. It really depends on what your priorities are on your sailing. I think if you're on a 3, 4, 5 night cruise, maybe skip the internet package.
yeah, I mean, if it's a
uh,
shorter cruise, I think you can get by.
that kind of vacation is generally for a person that has a very hectic life. They're always probably in front of their computer or their phone or whatever.
And it's nice
and
to have to turn that off.
it's nice to unplug, and of course, in some situations, people can't do that. But for our particular situation, we do a lot of uploading videos and making videos and things like that. So it makes a little bit of sense for us to have that going for
Yeah.
us. It's a little bit of a working vacation that we go on. So so it just different people have different priorities, but and I think I've talked about this before, but there is real withdrawal that you feel, at least that I feel, when I don't have internet for a couple of days. I wake up and I immediately want to look at the news on my device, and I can't. And it's like I kind of feel tense because of that. And Emily and I do a New York Times puzzle called Connections pretty much every day, and when we don't have connections, we're like searching the cruise ship for their little free crossword puzzle pieces
Which
of
is
paper.
the same on every cruise ship, by the way. So
Yeah,
if you
so-
do like a back-to-back and then
You-
you go get it again, it's the same puzzle.
You've done one,
So,
you've done them all. And so,
yeah.
we are definitely feeling it when we don't have the Wi-Fi. That's a good thing, though. It's good to unplug sometimes. So, yeah.
Cruising Chris said the phone company offers are very small amounts of data. That's a good point. Like, if you're getting it from the cruise line, at least you're not limited. I don't think any cruise line limits you anymore. That's kind of gone away at least. And then he says, unfortunately, I need to work someone on vacation, so I need it, but it can be a business expense too. Yeah, I mean, exactly. And, if you are getting your employer to pay for it, then that's great. If you are your employer, if you're self-employed like we are, it's nice that you can use it as a write-off, but you still have to pay for it. So people that are out there thinking if you're using it as a business expense, then it doesn't count. It's not true. You still have to pay for it. So, but it is nice to be able to use it as a business write-off at least.
Yeah.
So.
NCL has minutes with the more at CM.
Minutes. Yeah, I know that they still do the minutes, but I feel like they also have an unlimited package. Because I think NCL is the only one that even offers a minutes plan, but I thought that they had an unlimited. I don't know if you want to fact check me as we go and let us know.
Cool. Well, let's move on to the next one, which I'm going to pick one that I didn't know that I would. But I kind of have an experience with it, and it is onboard art auctions. So pretty much every cruise ship I've been on, in fact, every cruise ship I've been on has some kind of an art gallery. And I think I guess I've never really thought about that, but it's like people must buy art on cruise ships.
Yeah.
It's usually Park West, I think that
they do like 90% of them.
Yeah.
So
I think all I've seen have been Park West.
Yeah.
Anyway. We have a little bit of art around the house, and and we're artists, we're musicians, so I guess we're artists in ourselves, and so we like artwork. But I guess it's not something when I'm thinking about going on my cruise vacation. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see the art. I like the art on the cruise ship, just the general decor I love. But here's the thing, though: we were on a Princess cruise to South America. It was an 18-day cruise, I believe. Mm-hmm. And the art studio was doing these lectures. And we were interested in like one of them was called, what was it called? The Da Vinci one?
Oh yeah, the Da Vinci, I think they call it the Da Vinci Code.
The Da Vinci Code, they called it, which is a book that I think
it's a book. The Dan Brown book.
Which I've read, which was a fun book.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh, let's go check this thing out. So we go to this art, they didn't call it an art auction, they called it an art lecture.
Oh, yeah, because it wasn't the auction, because they had auctions later.
Yeah. And we went, and the lady that was putting it on was really good at what she did. It was really interesting information about the artists of the time of Da Vinci, and I'm probably going to, it's been a long time, so I'm probably going to screw this up, but I walked away from there with my jaw kind of open because I found out there is more than one there's more than one Mona Lisa painting.
That's right.
Did you guys know there's more than one Mona
crazy.
Lisa? It's crazy. 2 different artists did the Mona Lisa, and I'm not going to remember the name of the other artist.
Yeah, I don't
remember. No,
was it?
I don't know. Monet? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I guess I didn't retain the information as much as I would have liked, but it was super interesting. The whole history of that art was really kind of cool.
Also, isn't there more than one of the Leonardo da Vinci Mona Lisas? Like he painted more than one as well, and there's like a rumor that there's one that's like locked in a vault somewhere and you've never seen daylight for centuries.
Yes.
Yeah.
We walked away from that thing just
so
kind
much
of like
intrigue.
It was super cool, and it was like not just one. That was the first one that kind of pulls you in, and then we went to like almost all the other ones. I think you went to all of them. And they were pretty good. You learned a lot about art.
They were.
And by the end of those lectures, I was thinking, man, I kind of want to get some art. It really worked.
And then they pulled out that they had Picasso pottery on board. And I did not realize Picasso did pottery. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to buy it. And it was only like, a few $1,000s. So it was such a good deal.
See, that's the thing. At this point in our lives, the expense of that kind of artwork is probably not a good idea. It's just not fitting into our budget very well. But I can kind of see why people do it now, especially if you like kind of dive into the world of the artists, and there's a lot of intrigue in that world. There's a lot of the artists are interesting people, so you learn about them, and you kind of want a piece of their craziness in your house. I totally kind of get the art thing now. We have yet to buy any art. Have you guys bought any art on cruise ships? There's a lot of good art on the cruise ships, and I now kind of understand why people do it.
So I'm going to go back just a little bit, but Grade 8 just asked, are there those prints being sold or originals? And they have both. Some of them are prints, some of them are originals. In the case of the Picasso pottery, it was
originals.
It was originals, but here's the deal. The way that they described it, it made it sound like Picasso was like involved and touched every bit of clay and did everything to it. And that was not accurate. I didn't actually get an accurate explanation from the art curators that were on board. So I had to look it up when we got back to land, and he worked with a studio that would create these clay ceramics to his specifications, and then he would decorate them, like
Paint them.
and paint them. And I mean, he was involved in it, but to say that he was like a great artist and also a master potter is inaccurate. So I just had to get that out there because it irritated
That was
me.
interesting to you, and
It was really
irritating, yeah.
interesting, and it irritated me that they didn't know the answer to that. So, but and then following up on the art thing, Beverly said, we went to the art thing once and did buy something, but had issues in getting the actual art. It took longer than they said, and we never did it again. The pictures are hanging on our wall now. Well, hopefully you enjoy the pictures.
Yeah.
That was another thing that we were wondering about when we first went, and the question got answered by the end of the cruise. But you were like, well, if we bought something, like, what would you do with it?
How do you get it?
But you don't actually walk off the ship with it, I think.
They ship it.
Although, I actually took a video of this because I thought it was really funny. I did see somebody walking off with some artwork on our last cruise, but it might have been something he bought in port. It might not have been from the art auction. But he was carrying like a big, 2 by 3 foot framed piece of art when he
Maybe
debarked.
that is an
So,
option.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I think they say that they like build a custom box for it and ship it to you and handle it with great care, which I would hope so since you're paying a lot of money for it. Okay, so while you pick out the next one, I'll go back a little bit because Beverly said on the internet thing that Virgin gives everyone free internet for the Blue Extras, which I believe is their loyalty program, and so, which is really nice. And if you didn't know this, you can, if you have loyalty with another company, like, I don't know, maybe Carnival, and you just feel not very loyal to them anymore for some reason, you can try to get that loyalty that you have with another line matched on Virgin Voyages if you go to their website. So that's a pro tip for you guys. And then Chris followed up with the Norwegian. Norwegian still offers unlimited for an extra fee, but the more at sea is included in the fare. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. The next topic that I want to cover is, I just had it, professional photos. There is photographers everywhere on cruise ships, right? And, some people are just like, get away from me. And some people are like, yeah, take my picture. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys like getting your picture taken on the ship? At first, we were kind of like, back off. But, because they're a little aggressive sometimes, right?
They are a little aggressive.
But we've been embracing it more recently, although I will say, and this is, I can't show it because Emily won't let me, we have the worst picture that has ever been taken of us, of a lot of pictures, in the history of the world.
Are you talking about the dog one or the...
No, the guy posing us on the ship.
Yeah, but he had like the sled dogs behind us.
Oh,
That was the
yeah.
backdrop, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I literally, you know how they have like the little fake backgrounds on the cruise ships, and then they take your picture in front of that, and it kind of looks like you're there. Yeah. They had, was it sled dog? That's what it was.
One that was like an Alaska scene, which was, I guess it was our Alaska cruise, wasn't it? Was it?
It was Alaska
Okay.
Cruise, yeah.
Okay, so then it did make sense. But they had, the backdrop was somebody like mushing with sled dogs, and there was a guy in the background. And but it was also like Northern Lights and a lodge. Like, it was so many things.
There was so many things. It was the worst backdrop. And seriously, I think we had like just finished dinner and we were walking back to somewhere.
Yeah.
And I walked past it and I thought to myself, this is the dumbest backdrop ever. And I wasn't even expecting Emily to come into the picture. I just wanted to do a goofy picture, see if he'd let me do that. And the photographer, and Emily didn't, I didn't communicate that to her. I should have. She walked in the picture with me, and this guy has started taking it all seriously. And he's posing us. He's got elbows going over here, legs down here like this. He's like turning this way.
Put your hand on the hip. Do that.
It was beyond it got uncomfortable, honestly.
Yeah.
And in the end, I had to stop him. I was like, man, we're done. We're this has just gone too far. You got what you got. And we end up walking away from it.
I thought Joe really wanted a picture, and I was like, I wasn't really into it, but I was just trying to go along with it because I thought Joe really wanted a picture.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you walked away.
Well, we end up going to that area. Sorry, guys, little yawn. I just made everybody yawn, I bet. So we.
I hope we're not that boring.
I'm just tired. So we end up getting to that area on the ship where they have all of the pictures plastered of everybody that have been taken at these kiosks, and we dig through them and we find our picture, and it is hilarious.
So bad.
It's so bad. It's like when have you ever seen those Christmas card pictures where people intentionally wear terrible sweaters and have bad expressions on their face? It's like that, except it wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like us. The guy he should not be a photographer. He did not. He captured the opposite of like what our personalities are.
If it was
So,
just the backdrop, I could kind of have forgiven him because it wasn't his fault that he
Yeah.
got the bad backdrop. But it was a not
all
a good,
photographers are not created equal, apparently.
No.
So,
I have
yeah.
seen some like in other people's and other photographers' defense. I've seen some very good pictures taken
Oh, absolutely.
on a cruise ship. So we just happened to have one ridiculously bad experience, which is of course.
Yeah,
the one that
I'm not
removed.
against pictures at all.
Yeah.
I'm just it was just a funny situation, and I think some people that obviously really enjoy getting the pictures taken. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's like I think you can get a pretty good deal on some professional photography on a cruise ship. So why not? You're getting dressed up. You're going to main dining, formal night, all that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
you
you
can
know
also
what?
just
If
have
you've
fun
got
with
kids, if you've got kids, those photographers, or a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are really used to taking pictures of kids and keeping them entertained. And it's difficult to get a family photo. So if you're going on there with kids, why not take that as an opportunity to have a free photo shoot?
Yeah.
If you like the pictures, you can buy them. If you don't, then no harm done.
Yeah.
But I think Beverly sounds like she agrees with us. No photos for me anymore. We never buy them. Maybe the first cruise, but again, you learn what you like and what you don't. My phone takes better pictures than the cameraman. So
Yeah, in some cases, that's for
in
sure.
some cases. Although Cruising Chris says we like doing the photos. We have done it on every cruise. That is one of our things we always do.
Nice.
Beverly said somehow the cameraman took a picture and we all look cross-eyed. Kind of yeah, see, that's exactly it.
Do they go through them and think, oh, these people aren't going to buy it anyway? We're just going to put up a bad one.
Exactly. Grade 8 says pictures are fine. They're especially good for those milestone cruises like birthday and anniversary. And
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, there's no harm if you enjoy that to stop and get your picture taken
No.
because it doesn't cost anything for that part. It's just if you want to buy it.
It kind of makes you feel
And-
special for a second.
Yeah.
You've got somebody really paying attention to
Yeah.
you and trying to make you hopefully look your best and all
Yeah.
that. So, yeah.
That's nice. And I bet you if you did it, on a cruise a lot, you'd probably find that there's one photographer in particular that works good for you, and then you could like search them out because they're always out in the evening.
They are.
They rotate their spot. Hopefully they don't always get the bad backdrop. They get to trade up who gets the best backdrops.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Yeah.
Should we do one more and then call it a day?
well, if we're only going to do one more, there is a big
got
one we
it.
haven't talked about.
Okay, let's do it.
Spa services.
Oh, okay.
How many people have gotten spa services on the ship?
And how do you afford that? Because it's so expensive.
It sure is expensive. So I would say how you afford it is find a deal because there's always a deal. I mean, you just have to go. If you're paying the advertised price, then I'm sorry, but you weren't trying very hard because you just have to go up and ask one of those ladies for a deal and they'll tell you some sort of deal that they'll give
Yeah.
you. So for sure make sure you're getting a better deal than what's advertised, but even so, I mean, they offered us that one. It was like a couples massage for, I can't remember what. It was going to be 200 something.
I think 250. Yeah.
Which is
Which is that's
that's
it's getting
reasonable,
closer to being reasonable.
but
Yeah.
it's still, and especially if you're going to some of the locations, like, I mean, I guess we weren't cruising to Thailand, but in Thailand, if you've been there, you can get a really good massage for
$15.
$30. So
Like $15. Seriously, it wasn't even 30.
was it?
Yeah.
50, I don't remember the conversion anymore. But and so then you go and they're the same people too. Like they were from at least some of the cruises we've been on. The spa massage people are from
yeah.
from Thailand. They give really. I mean, they know what they're
That
doing.
culture
That's-
has it's a very heavy massage culture.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing for sure. I'll say, if you do get a deal on a massage, one thing that I know that I've heard a lot of people complain about is the masseuse will, towards the end of the massage, start trying to upsell more massage services or beauty services or vitamin services.
Yeah.
I also recently saw, I think it was a cruise news story about, and this is really terrible, but somebody was saying that their wife went to, or they went to a couples massage, or their wife went to a massage, and the massage person started telling them they had too much cellulite on their legs, and if they didn't get this treatment, it was only going to get worse, or it was never going to go away. But they were really that's terrible.
That's really pushy, aggressive, and
Really pushy, aggressive,
kinda
and you should
slimy.
never point out somebody's imperfection, or whatever you want to call it, in a situation like that is extremely unprofessional.
Yeah.
So I think that lines get crossed because obviously they must work on commission or something, because
Yeah.
like they're so desperate to get that sale. I think they might get more sales if they were a little bit less pushy
Yeah.
about the massage services. Yeah.
I think one thing I learned is that just like the art auction, the spa services are not actually run by the cruise line. They're usually outsourced to another company, and I don't remember what the name of it was, but there's one that does like a lot of the different ships. I think that it's not like, with Park West, it's pretty much all Park West, but I think that there's more than one salon or spa company, but it's not actually run by the cruise line, which is why you'll see these disclaimers. It's like the 18% extra service charge that they charge on the spa is not pooled with the other 18%, because that's like all the spa service treatments are like paid. They're kept in a separate account because of that. So yeah, anyway, I just found that interesting.
It is.
So.
Well, I think we need to start wrapping it up. Is there any more comments we want to address?
Well, Cruising Chris points out, we live in a rural area, and I like my wife to feel extra special, which is nice.
That's nice.
We both work as teachers, and it's hard for her to take time to get her nails done, so I always get her a mani-pedi on embarkation day. Oh, that's
Nice.
nice,
That's
because
awesome,
then
man.
like you have something, you're boarding the ship, you can go into the spa and not have to deal with all the madness, and then you have nice nails for the entire cruise. That's really nice.
That's awesome.
That's a good idea.
That's awesome. And we have a busy day, guys, so we're going to cut it a little bit short today. We usually do an hour. What do we got? We got 42 minutes here. We will see you next Saturday, and until then, keep on cruising. I don't know. We'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. Ciao.